Anchors away. That's right. The Fishing Guide Podcast is on the water. This is the first time we've ever shot the podcast show on the water. And the reason why is because we're in a special boat and we're with a special guide. And we're on Sam Rayburn. So, Roy, tell them your name and the name of your guide service here on Sam Rayburn.
Yeah, Roy Sanford, Sam Rayburn's best. And that's the guide service. So just look us up there, or you can find us online. My number is 409-656-5520.
Yeah, and so tell them the reason why we're shooting this inside, but yet we're fishing. What's the facility we have here?
Yeah, this is a custom-built boat that I had built. It's got an enclosed cabin with air conditioning, party room for the ladies, and it works out really nice. We got room for 12 people to fish at a time. It's just amazing boat. It's really been nice.
So this is an enclosed area, pretty amazing. But this is enclosed, and then you have the forward deck. How big is the forward deck? How many seats and how many anglers up front there?
The forward deck is 10 foot wide and a little over 16 foot long. It's got 12 chairs, and it's got plenty of room for 12 people to fish.
Yeah, and so it's always moving and catching fish. So technically, is it how do you do this? How do you get so many people fishing all at once and everyone catching them?
Well, we build our own brush piles, I've been building them. I've been guiding since 1982, so we've been building piles for years and years and years, and they're actually bigger than a house. We take sink willow trees, and that's how the whole boat's sitting on brush all day long. So there's fish all around us. Tell us a normal day. When do you start? We start at 8 o'clock when we leave. We always leave boat ramp at 8 o'clock, the pavilion there. And we'll fish till either you limit out or 4 o'clock. We usually try to knock off about 4 o'clock, but a lot of days people limit out way before that. Yeah, and so how many seats do you have up front there? Because actually you have, tell them, explain, since they can't see it, tell them how is each angler, how do they get their minnows and things like that? Oh, okay. Yeah, I kind of come up with that on my own there, but we got the little angle crappie buckets, and I was watching people have to reach down in the floor to get in the bucket, so I built some special little brackets that go on the walls of the boat, and the minnow buckets are right there at arm level, right by your seat. You don't have to bend over. And I run super quiet aquarium pumps, which they're in here in the cabin, and you can't hear them at all. That way they're blowing air to both sides of the boat on the boxes. It works out really good. So what are they using for rod, reel, and what's the rig set up like that they're using? They're not usually using artificial, right? No, you can catch them on artificial, but we prefer to use minnows. And I personally like the Wally Marshall Speed Shooter rod, 5.5 foot. There we go. And that's the rod I use on all our minnow fishing. Right. And so what pound test is on that? That is it's either 8 or 10. We kind of bounce back and forth. We use between 8 and 10 pound test line. Right. We had look at that, I caught some. Yeah. We had a guy last week catch a op that was a little over 40 pounds on that 8 pound test and put him in the boat. You'll be surprised at what size fish they catch on that stuff. Right, and so spin reel. So tell them about the terminal part of that, the weight and the hook. Yeah, we're using a 2-aught. Fixing to be using all Wally Marshall Gamakatsus. He's coming out with a really neat hook. As soon as he gets those out, we're going to be using those. But I use a little clip-on weight. It's a little bullet weight. Right. They are. Let's see who them. I really like them too. Bullet weights. Let me see here. I think they are just bullet weights. Here they are. That is a water gremlin. Yep. It's called. Okay. And really, that's what we use, 1/4 ounce. Right. 3/16, either one to work. And we fishing normally though about 20 foot down, 25. A lot of these piles are anywhere from 25 foot to 40 foot. And most of the time crappie's hanging out at about 20 foot. Now, right now, the lake's, it was 10 foot over full. It's about 9 now. And we actually had to go in shallower and build some new piles. And they didn't want to be out here in 50 foot. They wanted to be up there in the 28, 30, 25 foot. That's what we had to do. We had to go in shallow. But they're fixed to be back out here. They're starting to show up some. They're loaded pretty good on our shallow stuff, but it won't be long. They'll be back out here on this deep stuff.
Are they moving out to the thermocline? Is that what you're keying on besides your brush pile?
Yeah, just like I said, we pulled out here, that thermocline was about 35 feet. But I'm looking at a really big school on the screen right now.
Right.
And
tell us about your electronic setup. That's a pretty cool deal that you got going there.
Yeah, I'm running a Garmin Panoptics, and I run one on Panoptics, the other one on Downscan, and it's just, I've never saw anything like it. I actually got the units last year, and kind of wasn't smart enough to figure out what I had. Finally got it figured out, and I moved the transducer back here with me. It's back here in the cabin.
So tell them about, the transducer. Normally transducers can be up front there, but you've moved it so that it's back where you are used like PVC pipe, kind of redneck engineering.
Yeah, I built me a bracket out of a motor
right.
Swivel, and it works really, really good. And but yeah, now I know exactly where I'm looking at. This thing is sitting back here with me, and it's shining up under the boat.
Right.
So I'm sitting here watching everybody's minnow, and as they're sitting there fishing, and you can keep them on fish at all times. I mean, it's an unbelievable thing.
And the trolling motor up front there, that's a Lowrance Ghost trolling motor, and you're operating that off the Lowrance unit, the HDS. Oh, it's a Elite TI2 unit. There's a good fish.
Yeah, that's and I'll tell you what, this Lowrance depth finder is impressive. I mean, everybody just about has to be really good to stay in the business.
Right.
But I have no complaints with it. I run Lowrance all my life. I just tried these Gormans. I really like them. But yeah, Lowrance is good stuff. Yeah.
So up on top there, running the trolling motor. Tell them the advantage of you being back here, being able to control that, because that app, that screen that you have open, gives you the ability to run the trolling motor, even though you're back here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, number one thing is I'm sitting in the air conditioning.
That's what that humming noise is. It's the air conditioning.
Yeah, we're sitting here in the air conditioning.
I think I should always shoot my shows in air conditioning, and he was playing a little classic rock earlier. So I don't even know if you can say the name without someone claiming copyright to it. But So what size engine do you have on this?
I've got a 350 Verado, and the boat, I mean, boat weighs about 7,000 pounds, and it'll run.
Wow.
It'll run 42 miles an hour on GPS, and I mean, that's just running. That's good. And had it built Lifetime Boats in Jonesville, Louisiana.
Okay.
A man owns that, Bodie King, and he's been building boats since 1981, and he's really good.
And so anything besides guiding for crappie, do you guys do anything else?
No, I used to guide bass guide during the winter, but I finally got this thing built up. We work 7 days a week from April to December, and that's enough. I usually try to take off January and February.
What is the booking tough to get in?
Oh yeah, it's real tough. You can't get. I mean, all of our weekends have been booked since February. I mean, every weekend's gone till December.
How many? How many boats do you have?
Oh, I got this one, and I got a young man that works for me. He actually bought my old boat. And we kind of do, when we get some overflows on weekends, he runs crew. When we know we can both catch plenty of fish, it's not odd. Like, a lot of times I have to use everything we got. If fishing's been bad or slow, we have to fish a lot of brush piles to catch them. But most of the time, me and him can split up. He can do the south end of the lake, and I do the north end, and we come out good.
Yeah, that's so how do you know, when is it time to move? So you've been sitting on this pile.
Like
What's
right
your key?
now, we're fixing to move because I can't stand slow fishing. I cannot stand it.
I love this. This is, and so you're gonna go next pile. You're just looking for a pile that you put in, and so are you gonna go back shallow again? Because you're at 48 foot.
That's where we're going. I'm fixing eyelets over here, and we're going back to about 20 foot of water. Fish are gonna be at about 12 to 15, and that's the thing. We built so many piles that we don't wait around for slow fishing. If they're not biting, we move because we got plenty of places to go to.
Right.
Like I say, we're gonna ease over here. Got a new little pile, and it's every day I pull up on it. It's unbelievable how many fish are actually on it. Now they spook easy, but we'll get 10 or 15 or 20 off of it before they'll then they'll kind of quit on us, and we'll just go on to the next one. You hit 15 holes, 20 holes a day, and pull 10 to 20 off each one. You got a pretty good number of crappie when you get in. But
so the people we're moving, we're idling. So the people, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8 people up front there. So they can just chill out in between going to holes or get something to drink, go to the bathroom. Is that right?
There you go. Yeah, it's a good time. And if you'll notice, like when we first pull up on a brush pile, they bite really quick. Just bam, 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 bam,
right.
And then they'll stop. Well, what I do when they stop, I go on to the next one. So either the boat's moving or we're catching fish. And I mean, kids love that. Either one. They good. If you riding, they're good. But if they catching fish, they're good. So we have a lot of kids fish with us. They do really good. We're just dropping straight down with a minnow.
Right.
And there's one that's this pile right here. But see how deep it was, pretty deep. So we're gonna go on up in here, and
take us through the season. So we're out here in the summertime. What happens when you get into that winter time?
Well, it gets actually October, November can be just unbelievably good. What happened? All the crappie will come up and stay on the top of these brush piles, right on top of them. They won't even get down in them, and you can drop just 6 or 8 foot down, and there they are. And I mean, it's just, you never get hung up. Just easy fishing.
Do you change from AC to heat when it starts getting cold?
I do that, yeah, but I keep it nice and toasty in here if it's cold.
Yeah, and Rayburn can be kind of windy. What happens if the wind starts coming up out here? Say if someone was booking a trip, is there some days that you have to cancel because of that wind?
There is. It's really rare. I mean, I'll do if there's a big north wind blowing. We may call it. We may not go. Sometimes that's about it, though. I mean, we actually can catch these things, and this boat will sit on spot with white caps out here. And I mean, we've actually had waves come over the front, and we still sit right there. I mean, these new trolling motors, it's the Gorman or the Ghost, either one. They're kind of unbelievable how strong they are.
Right. So pretty much they book a day, it's going to be on.
Oh yeah, and like I say, if we look at, we don't deal with any lightning. I mean, I try to stay as far away from that as I can. But if it's lightning, we'll call it. But most days, and what's real neat about this cabin here is we get out here and it does come up a little storm. Everybody gets in here, just chills out. Most storms, maximum is an hour. Most of them are 15, 20 minutes.
Right.
And so we just all get in here and chill out, let it blow on through, and then we go back to fishing.
Yeah, that's quite an advantage having this built in, this cabin on top here, tri-tune, because it's a tri-tune.
Yeah.
So right now you can see this is great because he's only in 18 foot of water now, so he's moved from 39, 43 foot. There's a big brush pile with crappie.
Y'all let them down. Let them down.
Well, that's the magic words. If you're in Roy's boat and he says let them down, that means there's crappie under you.
Oh yeah.
So tell us how many bait buckets that you have, and how many minnows each day you come out with.
Well, there's 6 boxes, 3 down each side. They sit between the seats, so 6 boxes. I handle 12 people. And I buy half a pound a person, and which is somewhere between probably 6 to 8 dozen, closer to 8 dozen a person. And that's, we always at the end of the day we dump a lot of minnows back, but we want to make real sure we never run out. And it's we'll dump them on a brush pile. At the end of the day, whatever pile we finish up on, we'll dump all the minnows there. And next morning you can start there, and it's it makes a difference. You look really good when you start there the next morning.
So people that like to watch birds, Tell them, because there's a lot of birds out here on Rayburn too. I know there's the crappie fishing we were talking about. Oh, there's one. There's two. Yep,
two.
Doubled up. Oh, almost another one. Oh, there's a good one.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
keepers. So what might they see
Oh,
if they
wow,
were
it's big in there.
if they were bird watching?
I tell you what, we have got a load of eagles here, bald eagles. I mean, they're just, there's nothing to see. 10 in a day. There's 2 or 3 that stay right here that I can probably find them. They're usually always right around here.
And you got loons.
We do. They come now. That they I guess they migrate or whatever. They come through at certain times, but we got those. We'll see a few pelicans. I don't. They'll stop on their way, and got plenty of ducks. But yeah, that's those eagles is what's really neat. They'll come down, and we got some big those blue herons. I mean, they're like, they see this boat, they know we catch crappie and throw them back. They'll come out here. Actually, we have one that he'll sit on the roof of the boat and wait on you to, catch a little one. He swallowed the hook and you throw him back, he gets him.
This is like the food truck for that blue heron.
Yeah,
he sees it coming, it's like, food truck, I'm going to follow this.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, that takes us to tackle time. Of course, PICO Lures is one of our sponsors for the show, the Fishing Guide podcast. Of course, we're thankful for them, and they have all kinds of products that you can use for fishing, for crappie, for bass, walleye, you name it. If it's a game fish, it swims. PICO has a lure that can catch them. They also have bass jig heads, so make sure you check them out at picolures.com. And the other sponsor of the show is Smith Consumer Products, and they have all kinds of cool folding knives. So I brought one to show you, and I always have one, like a little small pocket knife, and they're really, really sharp. And actually, Ricky, who's with Smith Consumer Products, he's actually in the front of the boat, and he was the one. He was catching all the fish, so he's kind of cooled off. But Smith Consumer Products, you can check them out at smithproducts.com. One more time, Roy, tell them if they want to get in contact with you, what would they do?
Yeah, best way, just call me on my cell phone. I've got it with me. I actually bring my book on the boat pretty much every day if I don't forget it. But yeah, just call me at 409-656-5520.
There you have it. Hey, that's the end of our show. We were right on the boat, so pretty cool. And we're going to call it. So make sure, like I always say, make sure you keep your hook sharp and your lures in the water.